Mark's on. There we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So the quick roundup is, how come, guys, we're at Algarve. Sorry, guys. Yes, I saw that. As I thought that I'd hit all the right buttons, said Mark's live, and the Mark's live was on the other screen and not this one. Apologies. So first dibs to Ross Hummersfield Jakes. Listen, Ross, you nearly stuffed that one up last week. Rudy Bay saying no sound and Raphael saying no sound. So the quick roundup, guys, is we got Stephen, who we're going to keep on the comms with us this evening. And then on the Alpha tier, Nassif will be commentating here this evening, and then we'll get Stephen a little bit later. Nassif, are you looking forward to the racing this evening? I know you really enjoyed last week.
Definitely, a bit of a challenge of a track this week, so I'll be taking note of the Alpha guys.
Listen, there's definitely things that you are able to learn just by watching. And just remember, guys, we've got a 10-minute qualifying that goes out, and all the drivers get one chance to have a go. Put that lap in, and that essentially sets them up for the qualifying. Seeing the Toki Fun Offender saying zero audio on YouTube. Talks, just let us know if that sound has come through now. We should be all up and running. Raphael saying good luck, gents. And we've got Tyron Marburg saying good morning, ladies. Tyron, I thought you were going to race with us this evening. What happened to that?
No, he's racing too with us tonight. He's definitely racing.
So currently looking at Peter Brunt in the Ferrari. I think the Ferrari is going to do pretty well here. It's got lots of that nice torque to get him out of the corners. But Stephen, we know that the tires are a problem around this track. The ambient temperatures up at about 32 degrees, which means the track goes sky high, close to 56 to 58 degrees. Very tricky indeed.
Yeah, very tricky.
So Peter Brunt now officially out on a flyer. We know that the track limits going through turn number 2 and here into turn number 3 at Lagos. You can see he's really fighting really hard to keep that rear down. He should be flat through at 4, but looks like he had a little bit of lift. So those tires possibly not ready just yet. Now he's going to brake hard down into Toro Vip, turn number 5. Want to get nice and tight on the inside. You could have run a little bit wide there to get more of that exit speed. Just ahead of PB, we see that there goes the Acura. And that is Reese Wilford. A nice tight corner there for PB going through turn number 8. Now it's going to be flat out down into turn number 9. And then up at the top here, turn 11 and 12. This is an interesting braking point. You can see braking over the crest. Nice tight inside line there for PB, getting that car down into third gear, down 11, and he's going to carry that speed all the way through 12, and then hard braking point once again, turn number 13. Second gear here, keep that momentum going and try not get the traction loss as he spins up those rear wheels. Then through Sagrej, turn number 14. Don't go too wide on the exit there, that will invalidate your lap. Now down through turn 15. It should be flat the whole way down, but this is where those left tires take the strain and they just heat up as he approaches the start finish line. He will get the first lap up on the board. Everything looked good, and that's a 1:45.3 for PB. Let's see how that's going to hold out for him a little bit later on this race. We see Reese at 2:02, but we did see him come out behind PB, so it's a bit weird that he did get a lap time there. Just checking the comments coming through. We got Talks saying zero audio on YouTube, but should be sorted now. There's a confirmation. Thank you, Talks. And my Jake saying, how's it, boys? We know Jake's taking a little bit of break here with us, but we hope to see him in our little season of champions at the end. Ross did ask you a little bit earlier, Jakes, how much fuel is needed, considering we had some drivers running out of fuel in the last race. Quite interesting to see. But so far, Roberts has gone the quickest, 1:42.9. Ross the Cat. I have had the pleasure of taking on that Lamborghini on this very track. Ross is currently in second place, 144.3 there for him. And Stevie, look at that, a 144.6 that puts him ahead of PB. Brandon Dos Santos is a 145.9. I think that's, yeah, I want to say Yanni. Is that Yanni? That's old man. Is that correct, Stephen? Not too sure.
Not 100% sure which Stephen that is.
So that must be Stefan then in fourth place. Have you not put your lap time in?
No, I'm busy going across now.
Okay, so that is Stefan in fourth place. So that's a great jump there for him. We've got Duncan saying, hey guys, Duncan, looking forward to seeing you in the next Bravo race. Oh, that was quite interesting. It looks like the car just let go for Brandon and it just snapped on him and pushed him out. We've got Terry who's now gone fourth fastest. That's a great effort there for him. So that is currently everybody has done a lap. We're just waiting for Marius there, waiting to come out in his, I want to say he's coveted, but I don't think it's coveted, but he's a very noticeable silverback racing of black, yellow and red colors. Durkee is currently the quickest, 0.2 ahead of Robert. Robert driving with Tyler. And Ross definitely saying all the pressure now on Marius to get that last lap in. But I'm sure we're going to see him working those tires, spinning those wheels up. Because we know that the softs just do not work out. Nassif, I don't know if you had some time on the softs. Did you try them at all?
Yes, Dylan, I have tried them. Lifespan is way too short. The track temperatures just keeps climbing through the course of the race.
Well, that's definitely the issue that you are going to have, because I know that the hards also have a horrid time, especially coming down turn number 15. When you start leaning on that front left, it is a high-speed corner going down the hill. But then by the time you get to the end, the tires are all sitting at probably about 110 degrees. So it is very, very tricky. So just checking some more of those comments coming through. Jude Neville, one of my fellow drivers from LuxuryTime Racing on the PCS Head of Course Leagues, saying hi Dylan, how's it Jude? So my introduction of driving with Jude, he was in a Porsche, I was getting to grips with the BMW, and Jude happened to tap me 3 times during that practice session. So if ever you want to work on your racecraft, Jude's the right guy, but just remember that your safety rating may be compromised.
Wow.
So Morris now on maximum attack, but it does look like that rear's just not ready yet. You can do see how it's just stepping out ever so slightly, but now he's going to head into turn number 5, hard on the brakes. Ooh, a little bit of an understeer moment there as he possibly just slight lock up. But now up through turn number 6, is there be flat out or will there be a little lift? Slight lift there, a little gear down. Really throwing that car around and being very, very patient and getting that power on. And I'm pretty sure that Marius is going to want to be getting himself ahead of Robert, because Robert drove outstandingly last week and was able to pressurize Marius and keep him behind him for most of the first half of the race until those pit stops started. So it's going to be a big push now for Marius as he goes into turn number 14. Just he turns that car in, gets that front grip to stick, and then uses the rear to rotate this big Cadillac. So this is 23 seconds left of this qualifying. Just use a little bit of that runoff. And we'll see where Marius will cross the line. And we don't see it just yet, but as the final session timings come up, Marius goes third place. So just not able to hook it up like Dirkie and Robert out in front. Then there's Marius in third with Ross in fourth, Terry fifth. Great effort there for him. We've got Stefan in sixth, PB seventh, Brandon De Santos in eighth, Reese in ninth, and in 10th place, that is Stephen. So to the Bravo tier guys that are watching, guys, we will be about 10 minutes a little bit later than expected. So apologies there. We were just having some clashing issues, and it did seem that all of a sudden I just connected to the Wi-Fi and my open ports mean nothing to my PlayStation for some reason. Anyway, I see Mad One Steven has followed us on the Twitch. Thank you very much there. I don't know if we must just call you Mad or just call you Steven. But Steven, thank you very much for joining us. It is always great. So Steven, let's go to you. Starting in 10th place, what is going to be your strategy as you make your way up?
Try and stay out of carnage.
That Definitely. Is always a good one.
Yeah, look, I'm going to try and push as hard as I can. But, yeah, to finish the race and score points, score maximum points.
Right, guys, we're just waiting for the drivers to get their final setups in. Make sure that those fuel strategies have been done. Tires, depending on who's going to be changing tires, it's all going to be extremely exciting with 24 laps to go. That is, one will be the formation lap. And the reason we do formation lap is, guys, since we have done that, we have reduced the amount of T1 disasters. It just gets everybody up to speed. We get into turn number one at the same time, and it is just way easier to manage. So looking forward to that. Just checking some more of the guys coming through. Sarge, good evening, Sarge. He's saying good evening, Sarco. Lacquer Racing tonight. Good luck, gents. Thank you so much, Sarge. We then got David de Villiers saying good luck, Alpha guys. Pedal to the metal. And Craig Hunter joining us saying let's go, boys. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. So 12 drivers have joined. We did lose Gerard. Unfortunately, he was working. His work shift has changed, so that has just impacted him a little bit, so not able to get here. We also have Brandon Hills, who was in the lobby earlier, but just having clashing issues between himself and Dirkie. So we're hoping to have that resolved for the guys for next week. But man, oh man, what a great track. And Nassif, have you done any races on this track at all since you started racing, or is this the first one?
Not at all. I've just done a whole lot of practicing. Yeah. So there's going to be one hell of an exciting race.
So while we are on our formations lap, I did say that every week in a celebration of the livery on Terry Wilfred's car, we would bring you one Did You Know throughout the entire series. So, here we go, and this is Did You Know number 334, that a guy named Dylan Moore can chug an entire bottle of wine. Well, now you know.
Now you know.
Like a comment came through, this was essentially the original Google. So Dirkie now backing up the drivers. I'm sure he's going to want to keep everybody as close as possible till he gets to the end of the start-finish line, and that's when he'll go, because the whole idea is you don't want to be towing anybody along the straight here. It is extremely long, and you are able to set up some overtakes going into turn number 1. So Dirkie making very, very sure that he's not allowing anybody to get that jump on him. So Nassif just jumped down to number 4 for us just as we go through the corner. It just allows us to get a better view of who's going past. There we go. So there's Dirkie. He has put that pedal down and he's now having a go. And it looks like Terry's also got a great start as he's going to go into turn number 1 with Ross on his inside. But Ross goes to the inside and just defending that line. So Terry's going to have to go a little bit wider, which might just let Stefan get up on the inside. But Terry, another look to the inside there. As Ross goes wide, Terry is going to be able to get that car down. He's going to try and look to the inside as they go up over the hill to turn number 4. So no incidents just yet. Terry going very defensive with Stefan now on his outside. Terry just squeezing him off ever so slightly. We see a Mercedes-Benz in the background. Just running off. But now, that rear of that chappie's car was a little bit loose. But so far we've got Dirkie who's out in front, starting to open up a gap. I'll say open a gap, but it's only half a second between himself and Robert in that Mercedes-Benz AMG. You can see the front of that Audi just a little bit twitchy on the brakes there. But we saw this very similar to what had happened last week, where Dirkie out in front had Robert and then Morris in third. But it was the scrap between Robert and Marius, where the two of them basically were holding each other up, where so far Dirkie now putting that gap. Approval there from Stephen Koenig. Thank you very much. Stephen Koenig not able to join us this evening. He had to have a little venture to the airport, but glad you could jump in and have a look there, Stephen. Nassif, just jump to 6th place there for us, please, because it is getting very congested in the middle there. That is Stefan still trying to close down on the back of Terry. Terry a little bit better on the brakes there. You can see how Stefan just went a little bit too deep going into turn number 5. And there is definitely a bigger gap between Stephen down in 7th place and Tyler, who's right on his tail. But then we've also got Brandon in 9th place, so nice little battle happening down there in 8th place. So there in shot is Brandon Santos, and too wide. It's interesting place and a great move there. Just sneaks in front of him. We heard the little surprise little, I'm gonna call it a little chirp from Stephen. I don't think he realized that that he was actually had done that, eh, Stephen?
I think Stephen's concentrating a bit too hard there, eh?
No, 100%. But so thank you, Greg Campbell, for sharing our post. We get our little recognition coming through. But now the AMG, Brandon deciding to go into the pits. That's a very interesting strategy. Getting out of the fighting. He made sure that he stopped in front of that line. Otherwise, 10-second penalty is generally the prize that you win there for going in too quick. Just jump there to 6th for us, please. So somehow Stephen was...
Looks like we lost Tyler.
So we have lost 2 drivers. So yeah, that's definitely Tyler that's missing. We've got Dirkie out in front with Robert, Marius, Ross, Terry. So Peter Brunt is still there as well. He's down in 9th. Brandon DeSantos, he's there. Still not too sure who we've lost, but I'm sure that person will jump onto the stream. Reese is there. Still not. It's Stefan. So we have lost Stefan and Tyler. That is most disappointing. But now it's going to be the hard work here for Stephen to start closing up on the back of this Chappie's. The Chappie's wrapped. This actually works. And a Reese in the background there in the 7th place. So still 20 laps to go. Robert still trying to keep that pace with himself and Dirkie. But Dirkie, 1.5 seconds is the gap there, but out in front. But looking at those lap times, they're definitely coming down with Dirkie now. 143.8. Robert, a 140. Was that somebody had spun? So that was Dirkie that had spun, because now we've got Robert. There's Dirkie in the background there. So it looks like he might have, going into turn 1 and 2, the car rotated, because Robert is now out in front with Morris in 2nd. And the Cat now in 3rd and just about losing that rear. And there's Stefan heading coming on and saying, no, got disconnected. It is extremely unfortunate, Stefan, and sometimes that does happen, I'm afraid. But this action is still carrying on with Marius now in 2nd, with 3 seconds between himself and Robert. But Dirkie in 4th place. He's coming up strong after his spin. Oh, it looks like he did lose a little bit of momentum there, because he was closing up going in through turn number 8. Morris is very sideways, and Ross is going to go around the outside. So Ross is now going to get himself up into 2nd place. And it looks like these tires are making life very, very tricky for these drivers. Let's jump with our driver on the scene. Stephen, what is happening with the tires at the moment?
They're getting hot, very hot. But yeah, it's a little bit of a control with the accelerator, a little bit easier on the brakes, not too hard, trying to not make too much heat. But yeah, just trying to soak up some pressure, because Terry just did a mistake. So now I just got to extend my lead, try and catch Marius.
Awesome to hear. So Nassif, now that you understand that these tires are going to be getting hot, they're going to be going up and down, what is your take on the race so far? Do you think the guys have been pushing too early, too soon?
Definitely, I think they've been pushing a bit too early. Tires are cooking.
Just jump there to 3rd place quickly, because now it looked like Dirkie was going to try and have a go around the outside of turn 6, and there goes Ross off the grass into the dirt there at Samsung, turn number 8. So Ross is going to have to regroup here. So far we've seen Dirkie, Morris, Ross all making a mistake here, and it is Robert out in front, 5.5 seconds.
Whoa!
Then we've got Stephen now making a mistake, and now he's going to have that Acura of Reese right behind him. A big thank you there from Kathy Hertz, has approved our video. Thank you very much, Kathy. We also see that Greg Campbell has given us a like on Facebook. Thank you very much. It's always good to get that recognition from our fans. I was just grabbing a bit of a refreshment there, guys. So 7 laps done and dusted. Roberts out in front, still 5.5 seconds, so he is holding that gap between himself and Dirkie. Morris a further 3.5 seconds down, and then Ross 3 seconds there for him as well. But so far this is where the action is happening, and this is between the AMG of Stephen, our in-studio driver, and Reese Wolford, who's really starting to get to grips with that Honda. Acura, sorry, same but different.
Same but different.
What I do know about that Acura is it is extremely good on the brakes. Oh, Stevie, you went in a bit hot there. You might want to just slow down just a little bit sooner.
Thanks, though.
Only a pleasure. So the gap between Roberts and Dirkie now down to 5 seconds. So some inside information here from Stefan. He's saying Go Pitted have been practicing early pit stops as well, and really pays in the end. So PB taking an early pit, and just looking at that time, that's 41 seconds. So far, that's actually not a bad place for him to be. So Tyron still saying that, yes, the Acura is still a lawnmower. Yes, it is, but damn, it is a fine lawnmower to drive. So Tyron, I know that you're going to be joining us a little bit later in the Bravit here. What will be your weapon of choice? So Dirkie really starting to cut into this the gap between himself and the first place Robert. Now finding another 0.5, but he is still got Morris being pulled behind him. Morris still within that 3 seconds. Morris making his charge. He did chat to us earlier to say that he did try the qualifying in the softs, but just was not able to keep those cars in the working range, as I know that the temperature gets right up there over the 110 degrees, which is definitely too hot to keep that grip consistent. And Tyron keeping all his cards close to his chest, and it looks like the weather's changing slightly. Little bit of haze coming through there.
Does that mean the track temperature is going to drop slightly?
Like 1 degree.
So what it does is ever so slightly, but just not enough to be comfortable. The tires are still going to stay very, very hot. You can hear that AMG pulling away as Dirkie comes up through turn number 4.
That V10 really sounds sweet, eh?
100%. You could just hear it now going up from turn number 5 through Torre Vip. And Morris still hanging in there. It looks like he might have just lost a couple of tenths, because Morris, oh, Dirkie very wide there. Dirkie just not able to get that car hooked up going through turn number 8. And looking at the lap times, Robert 1:45.0, so that's 0.6 that Dirkie has taken out there, and pulled 0.4 ahead of Marius. Ross at 46.2, so he's starting to just lose that bit of the pace, which I'm sure Stephen will be very happy to hear. But still 6 seconds for Stephen to catch up to get himself up into 4th place, apologies, and Reese 4 seconds behind, going half a second slower than Stephen at this point. So Peter Brunt is 42.5 seconds away from the leader, knowing that he has pitted. So that might get him in the area of Ross and Morris once that pit stop has been done. So guys, if you have just tuned in, you've caught the action with 10 laps down of this 24 lap race. This is the Alpha tier. We did lose Stefan as well as our host Tyler Scott. Robert is out in front, and it looks like he's pulled back some time on Dirkie there. Dirkie making that mistake we saw last time around in the exact same corner, which I'm sure Marius is going to be relishing at that, seeing that opportunity, seeing that white smoke, because now Marius should be just behind him now as they come over the hill, heading down towards turn number 9 through Craig Jones. So those tires on that Audi must be absolutely cooking, and there's the gap now between 2nd and 3rd place. And we know that adding on a new set of tires wastes 14 seconds, and that is just not enough time that you're able to make back on the same set. See, Tyron, it's not more of him knowing what car, it's more of that he really doesn't know at the moment what he's going to be driving. So it's going to be an arrive and drive there for Tyron. There's your 1st, 2nd and 3rd place driver. You'll see the times when they cross the line. So there, 1.9 seconds, and Dirkie goes too hot into turn 1. I'm sure he's going to be hearing that Cadillac right up behind him now. Little short shift there as he goes up the hill through turn 4. And that Cadillac is now going to be a threat. So we're just on about halfway through. We saw Dirkie starting to have problems there, and you can see he was very tentative through there. And I wonder where this is, where Morris is able to close up the gap. So he definitely is closer. So now not only does Dirkie need to worry about the silver back in his rearview mirror, but he's going to have to worry about those cooking tires.
Oh, no.
So that was the sigh of the Stephen in his natural habitat. Clearly something has gone awry, because now we've seen he has dropped down to 6th place, and Reese now up into 5th. So Stephen, are we able to come to what happened there?
Just too late on the brakes.
Once again, 1st, 2nd and 3rd across the line to begin their 12th lap. So we, at the end of this lap, we will be exactly halfway, knowing that there still needs to be a pit stop in here somewhere. And PB 43.6 seconds, so he is not going as fast as the guys up in front, but as I say, the look at the times is that PB was actually the quickest that time round. Wonder whether that's a little time penalty there for Morris as Stephen goes into the pits. That's a great exit there for Dirkie out of turn 5. And I'm sure Dirkie is feeling very anxious going up here through turn 8. We've already seen him lost the rear a couple of times. And Morris closing up on him. Nice and tight there for Dirkie through turns number 11. But it does look like Dirkie's just finding his rhythm again. Short shift there for Morris, you heard, coming out of turn number 13. As that car didn't rev all the way up. Now through this long turn 15, and this is where the tires are screaming at you. .45.0 for Robert. Dirkie goes 44.0, so that's a second that these two have taken off Robert ahead. And Dirkie finding 0.3 of a second between himself and Morris, but Morris still within that second range. So Nassif, knowing that you up next, seeing that even the Alpha tier guys making a mistake, what would be some of the things that you're going to want to change going into your race a little bit later on?
Just taking it easy, slowly on the throttle out of the corners. The secret to this track is patience.
Couldn't agree with you more. And the thing about this track is it's definitely, you've got to rely a lot on the rhythm. Like especially here coming up through turn number 10 and 11 is that
there we go.
You're breaking
because that elevation drop is, on the corner your elevation change, so that the rear becomes very loose.
100%. You can see, a little bog there for Dirkie. Just didn't get that accelerator down as soon as we would normally have expected. But Marius is pushing extremely hard. And I'm sure Marius would have closed up some time. And there's Robert in the background there. So 4.7 seconds is that gap. So 45.4 for Robert, a 44.5 for Dirkie, and a 44.2 for Marius. So 0.3 of a second is what Marius was able to take out of that time. The other thing I think should happen is that if Dirkie pits, is that Marius, we know that he likes to pit later on, but he should pit at the same time just to keep that pressure on Dirkie, to keep Marius in his rearview mirror, because that's when those mistakes can start happening.
Yeah, the secret is, I think he just needs to keep the pressure on it and hopefully push him to make a mistake.
Because we have seen, this is the corner that Dirkie has not been comfortable. We can see he had a little bit of a handful of steering there as that car just let go as he turned in. Because I think that the advantage will go back to Dirkie if he pits and Marius keeps going. Because I think at this point, this is Marius's race. He's able to apply the pressure. He's keeping Dirkie honest here. But as soon as Dirkie gets Marius out of his rearview mirrors, then he's able to focus on his race ahead and not watch his mirrors. And I think that's where this race will definitely change up.
Definitely.
So PB down in 7th place. So he is starting to move up the order. And we did see Stefan saying that Peter was working on some early strategies there. You can see he takes a very wide line there, which puts him quite wide through turn number 10. But it does allow him to get a nice tight line through 11. But I like to stay middle of the track. I just graze that inside through turn 10. Middle of the track. Gear down into 3rd, down into 2nd, and I take that inside curb. Through 11, and then just let the car run wide, but then stay middle track there through 12 and don't go too wide. and then set yourself up for a 13. So we have our old timer going into the pits. I'm sure old timer used to be Flat Rabbit Racing. I'll have to check with Jacques. But let's see, 146.7 for PB. Dirkie, a 143.7. So Dirkie getting that hammer down.
Yeah.
So he is absolutely flying, which is starting to open up a bit of a gap between himself and Marius now. And Steven's going to have Reese to contend with once again. 2 seconds is the gap there. So Reese in the Acura. It would have been my car of choice. Oh, just too hot through there for Reese. Just wasn't able to hold on to that corner. A little wide there for Reese. You want to be nice and tight on that inside curb. So guys, if you are still watching, just drop us a comment. Let us know what you think of the racing so far. We've still got, we're on lap 15 of 24, so 9 laps to go. Let us know who your money is on. Got some messages coming through, thank you very much. But so far, Roberts is 0.3 ahead of Dirkie. Robert actually going quicker than Dirkie that time round, and Marius taking 0.5 of a second out of that lap time of Dirkie. So this race for the top is still very much on, but who is going to be the bravest? Who's going to pit first? And will Marius go in and pit directly after Dirkie to keep that pressure applied, or will he run his own strategy? If you could just jump to third place there for us there. Thank you, Nassif. That's perfect. Because there's our race leader going just about to cross the start-finish line now with Dirkie, then Marius. So 44.3 for Robert. So he's putting on the pedal to the metal now. 44.1 for Dirkie and a 44.5. So between Dirkie and Marius, it seems as the tires get hot, they slow down. The other one makes an impression, and it's this seesaw backwards and forwards, which is absolutely fantastic to see. So Ross going to the pits now. And it looks like Peter Brunt is right up behind Terry, so that's quite interesting to see, which means that Peter Brunt is definitely making his way through the field. And here comes the Lambo of Ross going into just allowing Terry to go through, and Terry losing the rear, doing a full donut but composing himself quickly and getting his chappies paper back onto the track. I wonder whether he was just a little bit put off by Ross coming out of the pits. But now we're definitely going to have a fight on now between PB and Ross. And I did say that Peter Brunt should come out round about where Ross was. Just looking at that gap was about 40 seconds between Peter Brunt and Ross. So this race is definitely not over for these two. So lap times for our race leader, 44.8 for Robert. Dirkie, 44.3, so another 0.5 of a second taken out of that gap. Marius a 44.9, so he's starting to just lose a little bit of touch there. It's now 2 seconds between himself and Dirkie. But we know that this race is not over. Marius could be just nursing those tires. That is a fantastic line there for Peter Brunt. Nice and tight on that inside curb of 14. Got the power on nice and early and just open up that wheel. That's a very tight line through there, taking those cones with him. So 45.5 for Peter Brunt. Looks like Morris has made a mistake, because now that's 9.5 seconds is the gap to third place. But where the action's going to be happening is that first and second place. Because Robert now under major pressure, because there's Dirkie currently in second place. Is Robert just ahead of him now? 1.5 seconds is that gap. And the cone strategically put there by Peter Brunt to show the guys they must stay wide on that exit. So 145.2, 144.3, and Morris deciding to go into the pits. Oh, it looked like that car wasn't going to slow down for some reason.
Yeah, he just scored it there for a second.
That was quite wide of an exit there for Dirkie. Could that be a slowdown? Can you just jump to Ross for us quickly, Nassif? Okay, so Ross is coming down the start-finish line now. I just wanted to see how far he was from Morris. But I can hear Morris just to the left of me. So Ross should be able to see him. He might be going through turn number 3 now. So there is Morris. There's third place. So Ross now has him in his sights. And seeing Ross at a 144.7, so he is definitely in the right, what's the word I'm looking for? The right range of lap times. Thanks, guys. I will sort that out myself. So yes, he's in the right race pace to get some pressure on Morris and see whether he can close down that gap. And Peter Brunt still 2 seconds there, so he has still has some work to do to close up onto the 4th place Lamborghini of Ross. But so far, Peter Brunt's strategy to pit early did work out for him. Terry still hanging on to a 6th place there. Stephen in a 7th. Brandon, been a little bit quiet with Brandon this evening. He is down in 8th place, and Reese in 9th. With our old timer down in 10th place. Nassif, just jump there to 8th place, please. Because there's the battle for 8, 7, and there's Reese down in 9th place. So three cars here. Any one of them can get that place. No pressure, Stephen, as he goes through turn number 15. So while Stephen's on the start-finish line with 5 laps to go, Stephen, you got 5 laps. What is the plan to keep these 2 guys behind you?
Just not burn it.
Composure.
Yeah. And no lap time penalties.
Yeah, that is definitely going to help you.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Right, Nassif, let's leave Stephen to it, because that gap out in front, as I just wanted to say, Okay, but I couldn't figure out what was going on, but that means Dirkie now takes the lead as Robert goes into the pits with 4 laps, with this one included. So Dirkie's going to need a proper outlap here, because I'm sure he's going to come into the pits really soon. But this is the race for the win.
Late on the brakes.
You can hear he's using those gears to slow that car down. I'm sure that ABS is working overtime as well. I must say, he was quite aggressive through there. That's good to see. Which means that that corner, he's learnt the way. So guys, while we just running out the laps here, just a quick shout out to our sponsors Schick, who will be giving the drivers their Schick Care hampers, as well as for LuxuryTime premium timepieces. You can go check out their website. All the details and how to contact Erwee are in the description below. So if you are looking and feel that it is time to take your racing to the next level, go check out a LuxuryTime premium timepieces, as well as a 133.8, and that's exactly what Dirkie needed, because Robert still needs to get those tires back up to temperature, or back down to temperature I should say, because when the car sits in the pits, those tires just heat up and it makes it very tricky, so you're kind of cooling down the tires. We've also got a Bulldog that will be giving away some men's skincare hampers as well to the top drivers across both the tiers. And then a NAG magazine, some interesting things coming up really soon. There's something on the cards there which we haven't quite confirmed yet, but just keep your eye out on that. We'll let you know as soon as the details are confirmed. Ooh, little wide there, but Dirkie able to hang on to that. So I think this is it. This is going to have to be the time that he's going to need to come in, because if he crosses the line and does another lap, that will be his 23rd lap. And he's only going to have the 1 lap to get those tires up to temperature. So he is going to push it all the way to the end. I think that is very, very dangerous. He's not giving himself any margin for error, which means he has to pit this next lap. And you can see 31 seconds is the current gap. It is going to be so close going into turn 1. We saw Robert's lap time at 2:05 there. That's obviously including the pit stop. Morris a 1:44.5. Ross 1:44.7. So 3.5 seconds of just under 4 seconds there between Ross and Morris. It looks like Morris, should everything go well, he will be able to hang on to that. But now that gap between Ross and Dirkie, between Robert and Dirkie, it's now within that 31 second, which is that pit time that we saw. So guys, don't go away just yet. We've got one last lap to come, but it is going to be the fight for the win here. Dirkie still needing to pit. Robert 30.6 seconds. It's going to be so close. And Morris a further 10 seconds behind. You must just be nice and careful through here. It's going to have to be a spot on the brakes. Braking very, very early. But now we can see that time coming down. Great choice of cameras, but now Robert goes a little bit too deep there. That time is coming down. You can see is 16 seconds, 15 seconds, 14 seconds. Now Robert will be on the start finish. We just can't see Dirkie. We can see the guys that now let him go. So Dirkie is coming out of pit lane. He is going to be accelerating. But is Robert going to be able to go around the outside? Oh, I can see the shadow. But Dirkie just able to hang on there onto that lead.
Well done.
But now Robert's going to be pushing Dirkie as hard as he can. Because now Dirkie might have those hotter tires as Robert goes very wide. You see that Robert does have a time penalty. This is the race for first and second. And Robert is trying as hard as he can to get ahead of Dirkie as they go into turn number 7. Up into turn 8, we've seen Dirkie have some problems there, but he's resolved that. Managed to get that car turned in and accelerators as we've lost Robert. Robert didn't come over the crest with the camera. So there he comes now. So he must have had his own little spin through turn number 8. And I think it was just the excitement of the moment there. So absolutely incredible action all the way down to the last lap. Dirkie's little gamble paid off. So 7.5 seconds will be the final gap that Dirkie will have over as he crosses the line. Little side to side action there. As Robert comes home in second place. We'll just have to see what the time penalties does. Marius in third. Marius will get that second place. So that time penalty costing Robert dearly. Ross will come home in fourth position. With Ross on his roof, as he does so, obviously timed that pretty perfectly. PB comes home in a respectable fifth. With Brandon DeSantos now coming down the turn number 15. He'll come home in 6th place with Stephen in 7th place ahead of Reese. And parts of Ross's car going everywhere. And there comes Reese in 8th place. A great effort there for him. And there's still this last battle with 45 seconds left to go between the Ginetta and the Audi. But can the old-timer get that car turned in? Looks like he might have been able to hang on there as Terry goes a little bit wide. And he should be able to hang on to that. And there you have it. The top 10 for the Alpha tier. Thank you very much, guys. We will let Nassif leave while we wait and get Nassif ready for his race. Stephen will be joining us. Just give us a few minutes or so as we just get the other drivers in. So guys, we will be back shortly. Give us a minute.
because that's the only way I was going to beat them today. They had Robert and Dirkie had that extra couple of tenths on me today. I could see it, immediately. I couldn't really push to keep up with them. I could keep the distance, but that's it. Yeah, very well done, Robert. Unlucky there in the end, but well done again, Dirkie.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Absolutely awesome. Let's go to you, Dirkie. And a very interesting race suit you've got on there for us this evening. Is that to help with the sweat factor, or is this hier kom 'n chevron, baba?
You know what? It was such a tough race. I decided I had to do something special for this. I just ran and grabbed a couple of stuff and put it on.
Absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. I must say it was quite interesting right at the death there. I'm sure that your heart just about stopped when you came out ahead of Robert there, going into turn number 1. Man, oh man, just talk us through that.
Yeah, yes. As you saw that I made a mistake very early in the race and it cost me a lot, and I made a couple more. And I was catching up and make a mistake and catching up and made a mistake, and I'm losing I lost all those work again. And at the last third, then I could keep it together and I could see catching up. And when Robert went into the pits, well, I was in the dirty air and I was struggling then. When he went into the pits, I said, no, I have to nail it.
Yeah.
And I saw the 10 seconds and I felt very sorry for him, man. But I decided, no, let's forget about the 10 seconds. I want to win this race, you know what I mean? And I had a couple of lekker laps that I could put in. And when I got out of the pits, it was like this close, man. Robert, well done. Awesome race there.
Very good. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And also to Marius, he was at one stage, he was just a little bit too close for comfort. But yeah, anyway, it was nice to have him there as well.
So interestingly enough is that just some of the discussions from the commentary boxes that we're saying that we know that Marius likes to take that longer stint and then pit later on. But we actually said that what should happen is you should just stay in the mirror the whole time. And if you pit, just follow you in and just keep that pressure because anything can happen.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, guys.
It was the plan. But when I saw, no, I can't do anything about them, I did my pit stop and got it over with. I was just wanted to get out in front of Ross. That was my only thing. The 10-second thing was a luck for me, unluck for him. But that's a bonus that I got there. Anyway.
No, absolutely fantastic, guys. Thank you very much. Great race once again. Great effort there by Robert. Really stepping up the season and showing our champion veterans up at the top there that the young blood is coming through.
It's about time, mate. It's about time.
Right, guys, thank you very much. We're going to be crossing over to the Bravo tier shortly. We're just waiting for my connection to stabilize, hence I keep looking out of the camera. So we'll be going live in the next couple of minutes, so just bear with us. Cheers, Marius. So we will be back shortly.
Still, the guys are just going to make another lobby. We're just having a few problems.
Okay, cool.
Because we're busy clashing, well, you clash.
Let me try that again with the sound on this time. Apologies guys for the delay. We're just still having some clashing issues. We've got quite a few drivers that are clashing with each other, and I'm not able to hold a stable connection either. I keep getting disconnected. We're just going to try and see if we can resolve it within the next 5 minutes. If not, we will have to just let the Bravo tier go, save that replay, and we'll put together a little highlights package. But we should have this resolved in the next 5 minutes. So give us a moment and I'll get back to you shortly. Thank you for your patience. Sorry guys, unfortunately we won't be able to get the Bravo stream up and running. Unfortunately, just not able to hold a stable connection in the Bravo tier. Not too sure what's been happening. I have been experiencing some issues with my line, just clashing problems, and I have chatted to my ISP and it doesn't seem like they've solved this problem. So apologies. What we will be doing is just getting that replay sorted, and we will get a little highlights video of that race posted up on our Facebook and YouTube channels so that you're able to see that. So big disappointment from our side. Apologies for that, but we'll definitely get that replay for you. So to everyone that joined us, to our hosts, Stephen, thank you very much for jumping in. NASA for our director, then our host, St. Jim, as well as Tyler, who subsequently got disconnected himself. Such a pity. Technology, what can we say?
Yeah, it's afraid so. But it is what it is. The boys are still racing, and we will get you the video club.
Fantastic, Steven. Have a great evening, and enjoy it. And guys, what we can say is keep practicing, keep racing, and until then,